let's see if this works here where I can. Perfect. All right, Joshua, you're ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Rise, the ultimate podcast made for martial artists by martial artists, with your hosts, Aaron Hensley and Cameron Smith.
All right, good morning, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing well. My goal, obviously, like Mr. Hensley said, is to get you guys to understand some things that'll help build your summer camps. And even if you don't plan on doing summer camps, these can easily be applied to buddy days, parents' night outs, any type of event that your school holds to generate revenue or new students. Now, the first thing I wanted to start with before I show the presentation is I want you guys to always think of your school as a flea market. The reason I say a flea market is because the flea market is one big building and it's just tons of space. There's space for people to set up booths. There's just space for rides. There's space for everything. And think of the amount of time your studio spends with the lights off. A lot of people, their studios, they come in at 12 o'clock and then they're out by like 6 or 7, right? That's not a lot of hours throughout the day. If you can utilize that time whenever you can, it's just empty space. So, rather you're having morning classes throughout the summer, rather you're doing summer camps, whatever that is, if you're going to pay for that building, you need to utilize that building to the max, like, period. So we're going to just talk about how to build a six-figure summer camp. Let's see if my PowerPoint's working. There we go. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Here are 3 reasons you should do a summer camp. So the number 1 reason is you generate new members. It's a great way to attract students into evening program effective prospect marketing tool and marketing focus on attracting non-students as well. So basically what that means is although you may have a great student count, everybody needs some form of childcare throughout the summer. So once school's out, no one's taking care of the kids. That's a good way to be able to funnel a lot of kids into your evening class just by getting new students throughout the summer camp. And retention. With retention, you notice a lot of people throughout the summer, either they go out of town or they just start doing other things. And what that does is it leans them away from the karate studio more and more. You don't want that. The more things you can have throughout the summer at your studio is better. So getting those evening students into summer camp keeps them longer. Now, there's a new thing that we just started doing, and I want to show you guys. We're basically doing a summer passport challenge. So for the kids that are not participating in summer camp, we have something where when they come to class throughout the summer for those same 9 weeks, everybody gets a passport and it's just a blank passport. But each week we have a different theme for a different country and it's all karate based. So, if we're traveling to Okinawa, I'll have them do some kind of, karate for that country and they'll get a stamp in their passport. If they get all 9 stamps at the end of the summer, they get a little trophy right here. So I hope you guys can see it because I can't see myself. But this is a good retention tool that we'd like to use. It's fun, it's creative, and it's engaging for the kids. Not a lot of kids get an opportunity to even have a passport, right? So this one little thing right here and earning a trophy or a medal it's just fun. It's engaging for the kids. It makes them want to come to karate class.
Hey, Joshua,
The next reason why
hey, Joshua, could you put,
I feel like people should do summer camps is revenue. Let's just be honest. When the summertime hits, people are out of town. People are quitting. I'll be honest. I've gotten about 5 emails already where families are like, all right, we're going to be gone for, a month or two. We're going to have to cancel our membership or pause our membership. And as soon as after school is over, I have to make up that after school money, and I also have to make up for the money that's being gone once kids start to leave for the summertime. So summer camp, even with just 25 children running at 4 weeks, you can make an extra $20,000 per month just off of summer camp.
Hey,
Now, this
Joshua,
isn't
I'll
it's
get you.
it's not a lot, but when you
You,
think about it, if you're just utilizing your space to hold or house 25 children just for a couple of hours, that money helps make up for all of the losses that you'll take throughout the summertime. Now, for me, I've always thought that experiences matter. So let's just be honest. Who likes going to Disney? Who likes going to, I don't know, Six Flags or what is it, Whitewaters or any of the other amusement parks? Have you ever been to more than one and noticed a difference between one or you prefer one than the other? Wait, let me see if I can make this where I can see you guys.
yeah, I was about to say there's a button. I was trying to get you. You see the button at the top? It says meeting and then your screen probably.
Hide meeting. There we go.
Okay, that's what I
Perfect.
was trying to get you. Hey, pause for 1 second, real quick. Um, the stuff that you just went through, that you're showing us
Yes,
that you've got the passwords. Do you have pictures or graphics to show us what that looks like, or do you want to post it in the Facebook group later?
I do. I can. I have flyers and then I have big printouts, but it's just travel around the world for 9 weeks of summer camp.
I think
And
it's a great idea for like even if you don't do camp, most of us are probably doing themes for summer
mhm,
and having some accountability where they check in like that, whether you use that concept or something, it'll help a lot of people just have an idea what they should do. Because when somebody has to do something to earn something, it's like playing Pokemon or whatever. You like it gives them an incentive just to do something more than class. So just giving people
absolutely.
a visual, I think, will help them with that. Can
And
you
it's
see
fun, you
everybody
know?
now? Can you see the screen and everybody now?
Oh yeah, I can. It's a
Okay.
lot better because at first
All
I
right.
felt like I was just talking
By
to the
yourself.
chair.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, I know. Zoom if you don't use it every day, it gets a little tricky for people.
All right. So basically when it comes to experience, I've been everywhere. I've been to Disney, I've been to Universal, Six Flags, all of those places. But there's always one that I prefer over the other one just because of the way I'm being treated, just because of the way it smells, how clean it is, the way the staff treats me. Those things matter. Even the way they market to me. When someone markets to me in a really good way, I just prefer them over the other. So when I thought about that, it got me into thinking, how can I make my summer camps almost like Disney? If I can make my summer camps like Disney, I will always have parents and kids coming and signing up. It's like a fight almost. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pick themes that non-students know and would get excited about. So that could be TV shows, that could be movies, that could be pop culture, whatever it is. You know, you guys know all the new things that's coming out on TikTok. I'll be honest, it doesn't hurt to scroll up and down TikTok just to understand what your audience wants. Once you understand what they want, you're able to build off that, and it allows your program to grow a lot more. But you want to always make sure that you always try to find themes that incorporate martial arts. If you can't do that, remember martial arts is your main selling point. You want to always find something or some way to be able to incorporate that martial arts. Okay, so when I click this, okay, perfect. Here are a few of the themes that I've come up with over the year. So these are my last year's themes. We had mini game challenge, which was our Mario. We had Survivor, brick build off. We had Battlefront attack, which is like Nerf gun slash Star Wars. And I want you guys to be able to use these. So all of these things right here, you guys are more than welcome to use. I have materials for them. I have lesson plans for them. And I plan on giving it all to you guys to be able to use for your program if you wanted to do that. I have a few more weeks as well. But all of these themes, they do come with lesson plans, they come with activities, they come with printouts, all of those things you guys are more than welcome to use. I will say the best one that they enjoyed last year was the Super Soak Slime Edition. We actually turned our entire inside of our studio into a slime room, almost like if you guys are old enough, the Nickelodeon shows back in the day. There was slime everywhere, but it almost looked like a crime scene because we had to cover all of the walls, all of the mats, all of the floors, everything with plastic, and we had a slime fight. I mean, it was fun. The parents loved it, obviously the kids loved it, but it was an experience. Next thing I have is daily martial arts classes. Like I was saying earlier, always incorporate martial arts into your themes. If you can't do that, there's no purpose of doing it because you always want to use your summer camps to market into your evening class. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but typically what we like to do is on Fridays, For our non-members, we'll do a Zoom karate class with the parents. That way they're able to log in, they're able to see the kids do karate, and then we offer them a special offer to be able to train over the summer. Uh, so that way we can add them into our retention or into our what gets measured gets done for August. So that's a good 20 to 30 kids that we can generate throughout the summer just from having them in summer camp and having a good time and showing parents that they're doing karate and everything. All right, so this is my favorite. When it comes to experience, we do a field trip every Thursday. Field trips are important because when parents think about camp, they either think about outside or being locked into a building every day playing video games, right? Because there's only so much karate you can do. You can't do karate for 6 or 7 hours. You can't watch movies for 6 or 7 hours, and you can't play on the tablet for 6 or 7 hours either. So we've dedicated every Thursday as our field trip day. And let's just be honest, not a lot of people have the capacity to be able to have vans and buses and be able to transport kids. So we found a unique way to be able to have all of these summer camps come to, or sorry, these field trips come to us. There are a few weeks here and there when we go to the movies and we have to actually leave the facility, but about 60 to 70% of the field trips we do, they actually come to us. And I'll show you guys some visuals as well. But we block off the parking lot. Um, we have them set it all up, and then we just send our kids out in groups. But not only that, it's exciting, but we're able to charge extra for these field trips. So not only do they pay a flat fee for the summer camp, but we make an additional 30 to $50,000 just off of field trips. Because when you think about it, it doesn't cost that much to get someone to come and, pop up a rock climbing wall in your parking lot. But when you charge the parents for it, you're making a little bit of profit off of it. Now, here's a picture of all most of the field trips that we do throughout the year. We get the rock climbing wall to come to us. The inflatable slip and slide at the bottom, we actually own that. So we're able to, pop that up anytime we want. We get the game truck to come to us. The one in the middle at the top, that is the wrecking ball. So it's just huge, giant balls. And then it's like two platforms, and the kids are just kind of throwing the balls at each other, and they're able to fall, have fun, do all of those good things. And the one on the top left is the Zorb ball. Keep in mind, all of these things are really inexpensive, but when it comes to experience, you have to think about this. The kids are having a good time, but there's also people driving past your studio on a daily. Sometimes people will just walk in because they think that we're just having some kind of open house, or sometimes I'll have conversations with people and they'll say, "Yeah, you're the school that always has the inflatables in the parking lot." And I'm like, "Yes." So if people know me for that, that's an experience that they've experienced just by driving past the studio. So you want to make sure that you do things outside. You have balloons outside. You have, big banners outside. Anything you can do to bring attention to your studio, it's golden. All right, let's see, what do we have? Special days and activities. So you want to always offer special activities when having campers and water days. But basically, you want to invest in your camp. So not only do we do field trips on Thursdays, but we do water days on Fridays. And typically, when you think about water days, you have what? Water guns, water balloons, water hoses, all those things. That is the fun experience that you want to create. The more time we get to spend outside, the more time we get to spend in the sun, getting the kids running around, playing. By the time they get back inside and it's time to cool off and get ready for the end of the day, they're exhausted. They're ready to see their parents. They're ready to tell their parents everything that they've done. So, invest in your studio. And it's minimal. It doesn't take a lot of money to do these things either. A box of water guns, a 60 pack is about $200, right? That's more than enough you need for your students as well. But there's another thing we do as well. We call it our reward wall. This is the big thing. This is the big deal for us. It's almost like, you guys know, when you go, and I always relate this to theme parks because I built this system off of theme parks. But one of my favorite theme parks is Six Flags. The minute you go into Six Flags, on the right of you, there's a whole bunch of bears and toys and things that you want, but you can't pay for it. You have to do a basketball thing to win it. You have to do something in order to win it. And I kind of came up with that same system here at my studio. So once we get closer to the end of the school year, we take down all of our apparel, we take down all of the sparring gear and everything, and we put up hundreds of toys, and we call it our big summer camp prize wall. Immediately when students start to walk in, that's the first thing they see. They want a toy and they want to know how to get a toy. That starts prompting parents to ask questions. Hey, what's this wall for? What does it mean, summer camp reward wall? And basically, I just explain it to them. I say, hey, if they come into summer camp, the best three campers of the day, they get a medal. At the end of the day, they get to take their medal and then use it to earn whichever prize that they choose. And sometimes that's all you need is just a little bit of visual to get people to start asking questions. If your parents aren't asking you questions, then you know that you probably need to do a little bit more. It doesn't matter what theme you have going on. If a parent or a student walks into your school and they can't tell that there's nothing going on, they're not asking questions. They don't know. Handouts and emails, they only go so far. But once you start to put, big signs up and brochures everywhere, and it looks like a party, that's when they start to say, wait, is there an event going on today? No, but and then that's when I start answering all of those questions. Here's a picture of some of the water activities we do. That's one of our indoor bounce houses that we put in most days during summer camps. And then we've also just installed a laser maze on our after school side. And that's one of the things that the kids really love. So when I say investing in your studio, sometimes it's the most childish things when you think about it. But at the end of the day, the experience is what matters. The experience is what gets you guys, is what gets the students bought in to the program. Safety is for the parents. Now, here's a picture of our prize wall. We put it up about a month before we start marketing our summer camp. And I, I tell you, sometimes kids will like to snatch them off, but for the most part, they'll always go up and ask
Right.
questions. And
So Joshua, you have four kids, right?
yes, sir.
When I see this, guys, when Joshua showed this to me, I was like, every time we go to main event with my kids, all right,
Mhm.
or Chuck E. Cheese back in the day, the prizes are never really, they're, I'm spending hundreds of dollars for them to buy $4 worth of prizes I could have gotten from Amazon or Walmart.
Uh-huh.
All right. But
Believe it or not,
there's,
all of these toys come from the Dollar Tree.
yeah, right. Or
So,
there's, I don't know if you ever used the Oriental Trading. That's a great place to order from as well, too.
okay.
Great. If there's a great, anybody ever use Oriental Trading? Great place for this kind of stuff for summers. All my theme stuff comes from them during summer.
Hmm.
This
And
wall
obviously,
here,
it'll be broken a few days, but if they
yeah.
keep coming to camp, they'll just keep getting more and
Yeah,
more.
but 100%. Like if I was a kid and I'm coming to karate class and you put this thing up here
Hmm.
and I'm seeing this every single day and I'm like, Sensei, how do I get one of these? Like this is how you get tickets during camp or you win points during camp or whatever it is. This enough is incentive to keep them coming. And I always tell people, we talked about this yesterday, is you have to incentivize the attendance and like a kid's going to see this. It doesn't even matter what's on there. Like if I was walking to Christ school and I saw this, I'm like, yeah, this sign me up here. It's
This
it's
is
a
the place I
gimmick,
want
but
to
it
be.
works because I'll tell you, I live in gimmick city. Like there's casinos here that just print money because people walk in and say, "Hey, here's my hard-earned money," because they have gimmicks everywhere. It works on us grown-ups, slot machine. Like imagine just like I talked to the guy, he's in a slot tournament. All he does for the day is all day long. All right. This is just the kid version, and we're preparing them for the casino down the road, but
Yeah.
it works.
And believe it or not, parents judge as well. When you walk into a place for your children, the first thing you do is you look at how clean it is. You look at if someone's greeting you, and you look at how fun it is. Adults know fun as well. So if they walk into a place and they get that kid vibe, and they're like, "Man, I want to sign up for this camp." I'll be honest, I had an adult at our summer camp open house asked if he could work at our camp just so he can experience some of the things. And I'm just like, I don't know about that, but I'll make sure that we send tons of videos and pictures as your kids are doing these things so that you'll be able to enjoy it from the screen. But it's totally for kids. So when it comes to experience, remember I told you guys earlier, all kids look at is fun, parents look at safety. So you want to make sure that you're providing things for parents to be able to visually see to know, okay, they communicate well and they'll always let me know what's going on. Some of the things we like to do is we post our daily camp schedule right when you walk in the door. And I don't mean post it like a poster. We have a massive floor to ceiling schedule, and it literally tells you what we're doing every single hour, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, 12. So that way they know, they don't even have to ask many questions. They know exactly what's going on. Those small things go a long way. But we also give tons of notices. We give out handouts every single day. We have water day tomorrow. Don't forget. Make sure you bring your water shoes, your towel, your sunscreen, all of those things. Making sure we let them know, hey, we have a field trip tomorrow. We pass out things, but we also use an app called ProCare. If you do not have something that you can communicate with your parents with on a daily, whether it's sending them videos, text messages, even medication logs, or something, a log to let them know when something's going on or if they're hurt, uh, they're most likely not going to sign up at your camp. So putting those safety measures in place, but you have to market those things as well. So you don't just say, hey, camp's 250, we're going to have a lot of fun, we're going to pass out toys. No, you got to let them know, hey, we're going to make sure that you know step-by-step details. We're going to make sure that you're getting videos. You're going to know what's going on every single day. I'll be honest. My kids, their school and their other activities, they're not so great at sending the pictures and videos. But the way my wife sends them to me every hour on the hour, that just lets me know, okay, the kids are having a good time. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to incorporate this. And if you guys don't use one, we use the ProCare app. It's a daycare app, but it helps us with our bus transportation because once the kids get on the bus, the parents are able to live track and know exactly where their kids are at all times. So that's a good thing to use. Here's an example of it. That's one of the schedules that we use. So every day the parents walk in, they don't have to ask us what time we're doing this, what time's lunch. We let them know, hey, field trips at this time, lunch is at this time. And then on the left side, this is the ProCare app. This is how we do communication. We send pictures, we make sure that they're getting updates, but this is also the same system we use when signing them in and out as well. So we try to limit the amount of, apps and things that they're using. All right. So we talked a little bit about field trips, but I just kind of wanted to give you a profit synopsis, basically how to just make a little bit more money. First thing is field trip fees. Every Thursday, we charge a $25 field trip fees on top of our camp fees, and we can generally easily generate uh, tens, if not thousands of dollars just off of field trip fees. Now, another thing is online registration. We always have kids or parents register their kids with a $25 deposit, but we always bill them 7 days prior. The reason we do that is because the $25 that we make off the deposits, that's what actually takes care of all of the summer camp activities. All of the rest of the money is profit. So even if you get someone to sign up, but they don't come to camp, technically that $25 has already covered most of the things that they would have been doing had they would have came to camp. So it just allows you to be able to make a little bit more money in the beginning. The parents feel comfortable just paying a little bit because I had to pay, I think it was $1,100 for a 4-H camp for my daughter this summer, and they didn't have an option. They didn't have a pay in four option. They didn't have a pay a deposit now, pay the rest later. It was $1,100 right now by this day, or they can't go. And obviously, I sucked in because I didn't want to tell my daughter and be a bad dad and say, "Oh no, you can't go to the 4-H even though you've gotten good grades all school year." Um, so I sucked in and I got into it and I paid it, but I did email them. I let them know, "Hey, I got 4 kids, and I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the first one that's going to want to come to this camp. I'd appreciate it if you'd give me better options when it comes to paying." So you want to make sure that you have multiple options for your families, not just one option. Um, doo-doo-doo. Make sure you're using reusable materials. So even if it's printouts or coloring sheets, whatever that may be, you could save a lot of money on paper just by laminating all of your coloring sheets, having them use markers to color, and then reusing those later. So the more things you use when it comes to saving, also helps you save a lot more money and generate a lot more revenue. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was we have about 26 people on staff for our summer camps, but about half of them are interns. What we do is we take our 15, 16, 17-year-old students and we give them the option to come and intern throughout the summertime. In return, obviously, they get to experience the field trips and the fun stuff. But that saves us when it comes to when it comes to our QuickBooks, when it comes to paying our staff, right? I don't have to pay for 26. Imagine having to pay for 26 employees every day for 9 weeks. That'll eat up a lot of your income. That'll essentially wipe out the revenue that you've already generated for the summertime. So using those helpers, using those parents throughout the day, your ITP, some of your younger black belts, you want to make sure you utilize them throughout the day. In return, obviously, you'll give them a free day of camp or the free week of camp, depending on how long they stay. And then the last thing we have on this topic is our early and late pickups. So technically, camp for us is from 9 to 3, but we allow people to drop off as early as 7:30 and pick up as late as 6 p.m. Here's the reason why. We're going to be here already. We got to get ready for summer camp. Evening classes are going to be going on. Why not give them that extra incentive, right? If I know I get to bring my kids in early and pick them up later, that's more time I have to be able to get to work in time, and that's more time in the evening I have to myself before kids get home and it's summertime, so they're all over the place. So just kind of creating those incentives goes a long way. You get a lot more signups that way. You'll have a higher average camper value because most people are going to sign up for camps that fit their work schedule. So you want to make sure that you're in that range. Feel like I'm going over time and I don't know how many slides I have. So I'm only going to kind of give you guys the things that I feel like you can take away today that'll be really, really important. I don't want to give you guys too much information. And I'll make sure that you guys have this slide as well so that you can refer back to it if you need to. We talked about parent communications already, so I'll go ahead and skip through that one for you guys to save some time. But the next thing we have is logistics. This one is really, really important. Uh, how many of you guys have ever walked into your karate studio or another karate studio where they had camp going on and it was just all over the place? It looked like a zoo. Let's just be honest. Raise your hand, thumbs up, whatever you need. Um, you as a martial arts coach or school owner or program director, you understand controlled chaos, but some parents don't. I made a mistake one time, and one year I would let the parents just kind of come in and grab their kid and let them sign off on the tablet. And I noticed a lot of those parents didn't come back the following year. So after I did some surveying and asking, they just said, well, it just seems like there's a lot going on and someone could get hurt. And I thought to myself, well, out of all the years I've been doing it, no one has never gotten hurt. But if that's your experience and that's what you thought, then I should probably change it and do better. So what we typically do now is we use gallon bins for the kids to be able to put all their stuff in, but we house it outside. So our check-in and our checkout is outside. That way the parents do not have to come into the building at all. We put a staff member right there at the door and we line all of the bins up. So in the morning, they drop their kid off, they check in at that front counter. Parents don't have to come in. Kids go inside the building, they put their stuff in the bin. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. Parents come in, they don't have to go inside. They just take all their kids' belongings out of the bin, they put it in the car, they go get ready to check them out. Who's ever at that checkout counter, we use a walkie-talkie or we use our microphone system and they say, hey, we need Joshua Norton for checkout. Josh will come out, he'll meet his parents, and there's only one interaction between one staff member, and the parents have no idea how chaotic or what's even going on inside the building. It also stops kids from losing things. Once you start putting things in cubbies, they start falling out, doing all of those things. When you have a closed lid bin, things aren't getting lost. Parents are happy about that. It's easy to find. And the checkout procedure and the check-in procedure is all less than a minute, unless they have questions or they need to change some things. So here's the example of how we do it. Right there at that front door on the right-hand side, that's typically where where my staff puts their checkout counter, and they just stand right there from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. They're standing right there. From 3 o'clock to 5:30, they're standing there just waiting on parents. So we just have one person doing checkout and check-in. Think this is the last thing. I feel like this is last slide. But this is the fun one. This is what I was telling you about. Every Friday, we take all of our new students, not anyone who's already enrolled, who already has a belt. We take all of the ones who has never done karate before. They're new to camp. they're interested, and we take them and we do a Zoom meeting because obviously we do classes Monday through Friday for our summer campers. We'll do a basic 45-minute class for them, but we use that Friday to show off to the parents. We kind of call it kind of like a mini white belt graduation, because on that day during that Zoom class, they'll show their parents some karate, they'll break a board, and they'll earn their white belt. So not only do they just have a fun experience all week, but they got a chance to break a board and earn their white belt. That's how you get them. And the way we do it is if they decide to enroll, they pay nothing, they train throughout the summer, and then August 1st is when their tuition kicks in. So that's how we do the selling point. We just let them know, hey, you did 1 week of summer camp, you broke a board, you earned your white belt, you get a chance to train all summer. And the reason we get them to train all summer is because we want them to go through a full cycle. We want them to be able to test. We want them to be able to get invited to graduation. And all of that is everything we need to get them to be bought in to go ahead and continue going after summertime. And to be honest, we'll get a lot of people who are new and they'll say, oh, well, we didn't know that you picked up from this school. So you want to make sure that you're marketing your after school program if you do have one during the summer as well. So typically you start marketing your summer camp 3 to 4 months before summertime. And then immediately when summer camp hits, that's when you want to start marketing your after school program because you'll start to see a lot of new faces. You'll start to see a lot of new people and students, and you want to try to capitalize on that as much as you can. So we talked about investing in your summer camp. These are just a few ideas of things that we have that you guys can be able to get at low cost that just creates fun experiences for your kids. Investing into the activities that you do at your studio is very, very important. Some of the things we have is we have a beam, obviously. So it's a thing that's a projector that you attach on the screen, and it turns our full mat into a almost like a big game tablet. So you're able to step on it and use your hands, but it's just a projector on the mat. That one's pretty inexpensive. We do a snow cone machine. I think we bought that snow cone machine for about $50, and we've been using it for about 4 years now. And every Friday when we do our water days, we do snow cones. So we have a little green space on the side. We get the kids, they lay their towels out, they tan, and it's just snow cones. I know when your kids see cone of ice coming around the corner, they immediately get excited. So, and it's unlimited. They want 3, 4, 5 snow cones. You can have as many snow cones as you want. And that's all about experiences. And then one of the ones we have is we have a gaming table. That gaming table is we built it, and it's pretty much like a Pokemon station on one end where they can play Pokemon cards, and then it's a Beyblade little whole dome, and they get to play with it, and it's just fun, and we just try to create as much fun as we can for the kids. That is all I have for you guys. If you want it, I have a complete package that you guys can actually get and download. It gives you all of these things right here. So it'll give you all of the printouts that you'll need to be able to give this a try. Not only that, we'll give you the minute by minute daily lesson plan with the activities for you to be able to use if you wanted to give it a try. And it's all downloadable. You're able to put your school logo on it. You're able to change the pricing on it. You're able to change all of the themes. But if you guys did want to give it a try, I can send you the link, and it's completely free for you guys.
It's a lot of stuff, man.
It's a lot of stuff.
I love it. Let's do a round of questions here. So Josh, if you want to hit, you can unshare your screen. You can just pop you up.
Okay,
Man,
let me
that was
see.
do a big time. There we is. Hey, first
Did
of
I
all,
do it
thank you.
right?
Yeah, you did it right. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Solid. Who has questions for us?
I think that means they took good notes, sir.
Boy. I've got at least one. I mean, I know it could be overwhelming because you just went through a lot of stuff and people's
Mhm,
brains can melt. Not everybody's going to go all in with all the investment that you've done, but obviously it's proofs in the pudding. It's working for you. So
mhm.
a couple things. You put in some revenue if you did this on a smaller level. You said the slime day was like one of the best days. What's the theme for a week that you had like you felt like that worked the smoothest, the best? People loved it. You can't wait to do it again.
Um, so the best thing, I wouldn't say it was the smoothest. It was a bit more stressful, but it's our week that fills up the most, which is our field trip extravaganza week.
Okay.
And that's where we do a field trip Monday through Friday. And we're pretty much not even in the studio that day. We'll do movies one day. We'll do rock wall the next day. We go to the aquatic center the day after that. And when I say it's a long, draining week for the staff, but it fills up every single year. That's the one week that we don't change every summer. It's always week two every summer because we know it's a hit.
And what was the software you're using again? What was it called?
Procare. It used to be
Okay.
called Kinderline, but they changed it to Procare.
And what does that cost? Weekly, monthly? What is it?
It's $150 a month.
Okay. So, and then do you lock in for a period of time? Is it kind of cancel as you go? Okay. Somebody use it just for summer if they want to use this, or do you know enough about it?
Yeah, it's well, we've never tried to pause on it, but from what I remember when we first got it, it was month to month, and it just builds us recurring. And if we want to cancel, we just cancel anytime.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I love how organized your front of your school is with the bins. And I know David went and visited your school recently and kind of see how
Mhm.
things were. What's the best way for us to get that information if anybody wants it? You want them to hit you up? You want them to email me? What do you want them to do? What's the best way if they want that?
You can go to themasolution.com. If you try to enroll there, it will try to get you to pay for it. So basically, what I would do is I will just send the link to Aaron, and if you guys inquire about it, I'll have to unlock it. So
Okay.
basically, if you guys want the information, just send him an email or shoot him a text, and
Or
he'll
go to your
let me
website
know.
and pay you anyway. That's okay too.
Yeah, no, I
Okay to
mean,
pay you.
it'll
It's okay to
just
pay
it'll
you.
just send them your email, and I'll be able to get you access
You're
to
supposed to just be quiet right there and say, yes, yes,
it.
sir, just pay me. Look, here's the thing is by the way, just so you know, Joshua's going to be a coach with Rise. He's going to be helping us with clients and focusing, his specialty is after school and camps. And we have a lot of schools that need revenue, and this is a great way. So partnering with the right kind of people. Um, so I appreciate your time today. Josh is going to be one, he's going to grow his business and his platform too, but he's going to be here to help us and guide us with some of the stuff here too. Um, but one of the things I would say is, guys, paying someone is a sign of respect for their hard work. So if you want to give it to us for free, we'd take it, of course. But also, 275 or whatever you're charging is pretty low cost for us to get that kind of information. So trust me, I've spent lots of money on stuff where I got nothing but one, maybe a little tiny nugget, paid a lot of money, but that one little tiny nugget, if I use it right, it's exponential. So
Absolutely.
perfect. I love it. I'll make sure I see you guys popping your emails off in here. Great. What I'll do
Nice.
is I'll make sure what I'll do, guys, just to make it easier, I'll send everybody a message out to opt in for this so everyone gets it at the same time. So we'll keep it easy for everybody. All right. One thing I'll do, Josh, you got anything you want to add here before we wrap up for the day?
Not at all. I enjoy speaking with you guys, and hopefully some of this information can help you guys grow your schools.
I appreciate it, man. I'm going to finish up with one thing, guys, because since we're not doing a call next week, um, I want to show you guys something real fast on how to make the right decision if because a lot, like, I know one of the questions that people should be thinking about right now would be, when do I know if it's the right time to do a camp? When's the right time to add this? Just remember this process first. First thing you always do is whatever you're best of class at. For me, I am best of class in the martial arts business, at least, teaching classes. Me on the floor executing the product. I'm best of class at that. So before I add something new, I always first go through the checkpoint is how can I do more of what I'm best at, right? So what is more? Well, if I have 4 classes a day, can I add a fifth class, right? Is there time where I can add a certain age group? If I'm best in class teaching kids a certain age group, I would go through that process first. Now, more could be, and because I'm about to show you guys an example. Okay, so I need about 4 more minutes, guys. More could be more days and do more of what you're doing, and more could be more people doing what you do because I can coach people to do that. Then, as I add more of what I'm best at class, then I work on getting better at it. How do I get better at what I'm best at? Then I add something new. Most people in business, because we need money to operate, we go add, and you're not good at anything, and you hate your life. You go home losing hair, stressed out, kick the dog, want to jump off the building because you're just trying to do too much, and you end up looking like a Backstreet Boy at the end of the day. Okay. Gotta grow the hair out and go through some chaos in life to kind of retool yourself. Okay. Why do I have to look at that face right now? As soon as I started talking, as I look down, I see Michael's new hair. I need to figure out how you got new hair. Okay, I got to figure that process out. So I'm going to give you a live example. I'm going to show you real fast. This is my school's schedule that I'm launching because I'm going to tell you how I make decisions. Because I'm going to tell you, I hear what everything Josh told me, and I'm like, man, that sounds like a lot of money. Sounds like a lot of work. I can't wait. I need both. I like the pressure. I need some hard stuff. And then people will go do it and they only do it halfway. They don't do everything he just told you. They do it halfway and they don't get the success. And they're like, well, Joshua's stuff doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work because you didn't do it. You got excited about one thing. You didn't actually plan this out and do it properly. So I'm going to share with you to give you context here of how I make decisions. So if you know it's the right thing for you to do, okay? And then I'll let you guys go here. Bam, if I can hit this button and pull this up. All right. And then come back to my Zoom. So when I'm making a decision, tell me when you guys can see the screen here. You guys see the schedule on here? Okay, so this is the school that I'm launching right now. Here's the schedule. Now, we do not have adult classes. We offer Vibe kickboxing in the morning, so that's a separate schedule. But for our martial arts, we only onboard ages 4 to 14. Can a 16-year-old train in our school? Yes, but they were a student when they were 13, 14. They had to work their way up. So unique classes. You notice we don't have anything on Fridays and Saturdays. So we have 4 days of classes. So I have Monday, Wednesday, that's unique times, Tuesday, Thursday. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique classes because this one down here is a class people would already be in one of these. Then on the next day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 10 unique classes. We could put 30, but we have 24 spots right now that we're opening on our menu item per class. So when I take 10 unique classes, 24 spots, that means I have 240 members that could have in my school. Our baseline program that we offer, okay, is with all fees included. So testings and tournaments, not equipment, but just to take classes, ends up being our lowest level is $3,600 annually. And they pay weekly, but our lowest ticket is $3,600. So here's what I do, guys. $3,600. If I maximize first what I'm best of class at, $3,600 times 240, that would be $864,000 a year. That's three full-time staff members, and that puts me at a 30 to 40% margin. How many guys would take that today if you could have it today? Just teaching, no Friday classes, no Saturday. Saturday would be your special events and onboarding new students, whatever. So the first question is, I got to do that, get best at that first, if that's what I feel like I'm best at. Now, Joshua, you could tell me if I'm wrong. You make probably the majority of your money after school and camps, right? So he would think about this as how do I maximize that, right? He's best of class at aftercare and camps. How does he maximize that, which is what he's teaching us? So first I'm maximizing it. Second is you guys see Friday, Saturday, and there's not Sunday on there. Before I would do anything else, I would do more of what I do, get better at what I do. More could be maybe I open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Doesn't mean I have to physically do it, but could I get the same business here, add 3 more days, and add 5 or 6 more unique classes and get over $1 million doing just the one thing that I'm best of class at? So the reason why sometimes you guys have stress is because you're not best of class at anything. You're trying to teach a 3-year-old and a 62-year-old, and you're not the best of class at either one. So I don't have 37-year-olds taking classes because I built a system not based on what Aaron Hensley can teach. I could hire the average martial arts instructor and have them become a great communicator for kids. But a lot of times, a female instructor who's very comfortable teaching 7-year-olds is not very comfortable teaching 44-year-old adult men that have testosterone and want to go hit stuff. Okay. So you don't build a program to try to hit such a big wide audience that then you cannot reproduce it. So I'm showing this as an example, just so you guys have an understanding of how you would make a decision. Math takes emotion out of it. So I have 10 unique classes before there's any upgrade programs. Now, I won't tell you all my systems, but there's beginner and advanced classes inside of those. We built a system. There's no upgrades that you buy. I have no upgrades that you can be sold. You earn based on belts moving up. I did not want a system where I would try to sell somebody something before they're ready. So there's no sales process. You earn your process. All right. And so what y'all didn't see in that schedule is how many of you guys right now a brand that I see a lot on this camera right now. You're stressed when you have a red belt and a yellow belt in the same class. How many of you guys hate that problem? Okay, you got a red belt and a yellow belt, and you're teaching the same thing. I don't have that problem because the transition is based on belt skill. All right. So I built this thinking about that. So when you're my business owners in here, think about your systems. Are you building, if you have a business model that can't get you past, showed you data yesterday, 97% of business don't make 10 years and 96% never make a million. Those numbers are together for a reason. If you can't get over $1 million, you don't have the right plan, your business will probably fail. All right. Michael, who is on the call, in the building he was in, his business had no plan to get to a million. And 12 months later, we were hitting that. He had to evolve, yes, but his work ethic was there already. Strategy matters, okay? But more than strategy, execution. You got to be able to act fast, all right? So every time you make a decision, if you're going to go do it, be best at it. So if you're launching camps and you're not ready to do the 9 weeks or 10 weeks, do 1 week, but do it all in. And don't worry about revenue on the first time. Worry about doing it right so you can be best of class. We need better marketing. Everybody remember I tell this all the time. I want best product, best known beats best product, and I want to be both. I want my students to be awesome, and I want everybody to know that we're awesome. So we continue to have the responsibility to stay that way. Okay. All right, guys. Enjoy the weekend with your family and friends, if you have any. All right. When you got a business, you end up just working the whole time anyway, which is
Hey,
joyful.
Aaron, one question.
Let's go, Alejandro. Let's go, man. Look at
Uh,
that suave with the glasses.
Hey, it's more about people pausing membership. So um, our new members, they already know we're not allowed to pause, but our like founding members that started the school, they kind of like got used to that. Now I don't want to be offering private lessons to like 13 people. People at River Oaks, they go on vacation for a while. So what's the best way of telling them, hey, we're not gonna pause, but what can we offer them other than private and
So, first off, uh, you've been open for a few years. So, first of all, you said some stuff in there you didn't say because nobody should be on a founding membership still to this day. Because that means that because the reason why is the founding membership was designed for basic membership only until you went to the next level. That's what it was designed for. A lot of people just didn't enact it properly. You kept it kind of in perpetuity no matter what program they moved to. So, one, anytime you have a policy that needs to be fixed for the health of the business, you've got to just prepare and execute and deal with whatever challenge that you come with, right? When you try to create systems and processes based on individuals, that's not a system or process. So, one, I never pause memberships, never would. It makes no sense. And so that if that was a policy where we did that, you got to fix it, and you got to fix it fast. And so if someone's leaving town for the whole summer, we already have like I said, I've already executed on how my policy would be, and they get to use those privates, but they're still paying for that time, right? So like you're not pausing, they're not paying. But also, if you have anyone like, are these people paying less than $200 a month, for example?
yeah, well, I think everybody now is over 200, but they don't pay more than 250. Most of these guys.
Okay, so like so none of these are on their original membership, is what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes,
so
sir.
you should, and owners, you guys should have at least once a year or twice a year where you send out, your policy updates. And it's just whatever that is. Testing prices should go up. Uh, cost of everything goes up. Nothing ever stays the same. And so or another one, you guys don't have a policy theoretically for locking someone into a day. You just let them come out every day. The challenge with that is you can't predict staff, you can't predict scheduling, you can't predict what you need. And so you end up having an overflow of classes, one, and then too small of another one. Anytime you're going to fix to improve the business, um, it's just doing it the right way and letting people know and then hold it to a standard. And don't be scared, right? Um, and if you have a lot of people leaving for summer because whatever, they go to Europe for 2 months, uh, tell them I'm available. They can hire me. I can go travel and train them over there. And that's the best system. Me and Evelyn will go to Italy with them. We'll hang out. Okay. and we'll just go run classes over there. That's the way. That's to me the best system. Let's just do that.
All right.
Okay,
All right. Thank you, sir.
sir. All right, guys. Anything you need from me over the weekend, I'm here for you guys. Call me, text me, email me, Facebook me, show up at my house if you want to. It's all good. Okay. Um, but let's make sure, guys, next week, that Wednesday call, have the whole team be ready to lock and load. Wayne asked me what do you need to be prepared for the call. Honestly, it's just a matter of have the team ready to go, phones charged up, know where your goals are, know where your gaps are, and know what you want to hit for the end of the month. And let's go crush it hard together. Okay. And I'll see you guys then. If you need me before then, you know how to find me. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Joshua. Appreciate you, man.